Okay, so this is the integrated remote access controller 9 iDRAC login information for my server. As you see, its serial number is tagged for Whiskey Sierra 243 basic management. We're going to go ahead and attempt to log in here. Root and Calvin, domain this iDRAC, and log in. And change the default password. Let's just go ahead and keep the default password for right now. Typically one would want to change this if they want to plug it in and put it on with their regular settings that they might have with the rest of their infrastructure if they're monitoring stuff using iDRAC. So we're just going to keep the defaults right now because this server is being passed on for review. And let's go ahead and hit continue. So within this particular server, we see our main dashboard here. We see that make sure that you capture this here. We see that the server is healthy, represented by the green area here. And let's get rid of some of this stuff here. There we go. Apologize about the movement, but this will work. Yeah, so we have here a graceful shutdown. We can, do some options: power off system, non-masking interrupt, reset system. We can identify system here, success, and more actions. But bottom line is, yeah, we've got this is the main dashboard. We have our health information. We've got the big giant green check mark there. The system is healthy. We have details on that as well. Clicking over here, you can run through the summary, the batteries on board, cooling, CPU accelerators, front panel. Front panel's not on right now, but it's not an option to really have that on right here at the moment, but you could see the green check mark with that. The network devices, memory, and intrusion there. So here we have our system information down below. It shows that it's on, and it's got our service tag, and that our license that we have is basic management here. So for our iDRAC. So back to the details screen. That's the overview. The details provide you the system details in this format. Get a little bit deeper dive. Shows your BIOS version, lifestyle. I keep saying lifestyle. Lifecycle controller firmware version 4.0. And then you also have the iDRAC details here. You see that my IP6 is disabled, so it does do like IP6 as well. And then asset tracking, if we had this part all configured out. This is a new server out of the box, so a lot of it's not really configured for anything thus far. You have the inventory tabs, which gives you the firmware inventory. And its firmware versions there. You also have hardware inventory, and it looks like it's got a couple pages on this, so you've got a little 2 button on the bottom. So clicking the 2, you bring up the rest of the materials, and you can export this over top right of the page. As you can export that on out. Here's the refresh button. Reloads it again. So and so that's the inventory. Then you have the host OS. In this case, it's not an installed module, so you can't really do much there. You can configure service module from the other side of the screen. We won't do that right now, but that's under the system. Storage, we've got some details here. You see a red alert right here on the front. There's no physical disks to be displayed. Check the system host, powered off or shut down. etc. This goes in the controllers, physical disks, and you can again see the reds there, virtual disks, enclosures. The unit itself is powered on, but it doesn't actually have anything installed on it. So this is kind of what you see right now. So for configuration, we have the power management licenses. I don't think there's any valuable information on there. I get the free 30-day trial. And then you got some system settings. You can do alert configurations and configure alerts, SNMP traps, redfish events settings, etc. Here's hardware settings, cooling configuration, front panel configuration, etc. Again, some asset tracking data. Again, optional here. You put the data in and configure it. Storage configuration. Again, it's all red right now. BIOS settings. We've got our boot settings in here. You can enable the first set boot order, etc. That's right down here. Set the boot order, enable. I'll be messing with this later today because we'll need to boot to a DVD drive. Right now it boots to the, what is it, first one on the list here. It's the hard disk first, which doesn't have anything on it. So, and let's see here, SATA settings, processor settings, memory settings. A lot of the stuff we looked through on the F2 window is available here. In fact, actually, this is the configuration F2 window. Server configuration profile. You can import and export, and got a bunch of stuff in here, and that's under the configuration main tab up above here. So bouncing over to maintenance. Maintenance, we see that we can. Here's our logs, our life cycle logs. What we've got, and you can make comments on them over here off the side. Click on that, make a comment, and hit save. And then of course that'll be there for anyone pulling logs later on. So you have your job queues, your system updates, system event logs, troubleshooting. This is a little section that might have to occur. Show some intrusion stuff and the postcode. It's power on self test. Here's diagnostics. You can reset the iDRAC and then reset iDRAC to default settings. And there would be a command here, and you type submit. Support assistant. This would be tied back into probably a paid service of some sort, back with Dell or etc. So as you see here, you can register, start collection, do a network connection, and some various information down below that you can create your service request and collection info and get that sent on up. So that's under the maintenance menu, and then we have the iDRAC settings itself. So this is the overview area, kind of gives you the dashboard per se of iDRAC settings, and this is how it's all listed here on the page. It includes the iDRAC details, the service module, connection view. You've got the down below here, current IP version 6 settings, your version 4 settings, and your current network settings. Got connectivity to go on in here and configure some of this data, and that's right here under connectivity. Sorry about the camera. Network settings, iDRAC discovery. Here's where you can set the MTU size. You can lock it to auto negotiate, or as enabled, or turn it off, and do strap it any way you need it. So several things on here. You got serial over LAN, OS to iDRAC pass through. back to the menu settings. We've got services, local configuration, web server, SSH, telnet. You can enable it, disable it. Then you got redfish settings. It looks like it's enabled, ready to go. Users, you can build out some local users, default password warnings, etc. Settings here. You can configure your time zone, NTP settings. It's going to be important for various logs. Import server profile. If you've got other profiles that you just want to upload. iDRAC service modules and management USB settings. So in here, it looks like you can get a lot of the configuration going and configure the windows to report back to your any alerts that might occur over this particular server. And once again, this is going to be very helpful in a large server topology or pool or forest of servers. You know, once again, it's helpful to see what's here and how to use it, and this is really what's on our Dell server R240s right now. So thanks for watching.